This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in association with Betfred here in Manchester at the Joyce and Joyce-Parker press conference live. We're joined by Ben Shalom. First of all, how are you, mate? You good?
Very well. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not bad at all. This is an old-fashioned heavyweight fight, isn't it, Ben?
It is. I mean, two contrasting styles, completely different experience. What's strange about this one is the younger guy is the veteran. The younger guy's got the experience. The younger guy's probably the fresher. The younger guy is fresher, yet has been a former world champion, yet had all those experiences. It's an interesting fight, but it's one that Joyce-Parker took on his terms at that right time. It makes us very, very confident.
It's a fight that neither fighter really needed, though, isn't it? I mean, do you respect both men for taking this fight?
I do. I think Joe Joyce, I respect for taking the fight. I think Joyce-Parker, this was an opportunity that you couldn't turn down. This is for interim WBO belt. This is for a chance to fight for Alexander, at the moment, Alexander Usyk, WBO World Championship. Who would not want to do that? And if Joyce-Parker believes he can win, then that is a perfect fight. And when he signed with us, he said people thought maybe he was signing us to avoid this fight. He said, if you can make this fight, you can get it on the right terms. Please, Ben, this is a massive opportunity. This has everything. This allows me to potentially become a two-time world champion or fight for a world title again. Make it happen. We did. And thank you to everyone involved. Thank you to George Warren, because it usually wouldn't be possible, and we got it done.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this is a sign of better things to come. Promotional companies working together. Obviously, the Shields and Marshall, we see you working with other promotional companies there and then. Can we see this thing happening again and again, hopefully, for the good of the sport?
I just don't think why such a big deal is made out of it, in the sense that I do not give a shit about promoter politics. I don't care what anyone will call me, Frank, Eddie. I don't care. Our job's to make the fighters get the fights that they want. I'm not going to try and convince a fighter that there's a bet that this isn't the right opportunity if it is. I think it's just an old-fashioned, strange way of doing things. We're all here to represent our fighters. We're all here to make sure they have the best opportunities possible. I just don't care about it. And when I see fighters, promoters going back and forth and getting to the point where they literally cannot be in the same room as each other, how is that a good thing for the sport? How is that a good thing for your clients? Why does that make sense? Surely it will only harm your own business. Look, not everyone's going to like us, and we get insulted a lot by other promoters. Absolutely.
No mentioning names.
Yeah, but that's absolutely fine. I don't care, as long as the deal gets done at the end of the day, and as long as he gets the right terms. And on this occasion, we've worked with a collaborative partner as well, so I like it. It's fine.
Obviously, this might be a simple question, but how pleased are you, first of all, that obviously Joyce-Parker is now part of boxing?
I just think it's very rare that you can sign someone at 30 years old who's had that experience, that has that opportunity in front of them, that is training different, and it was like a new setup.
Yeah.
We knew what it was like with Kevin Barry in Las Vegas, and he tells me the stories that I'm probably not allowed to say, in the sense that he wasn't taking it that seriously.
Yeah.
He still became world champion and fought against Anthony Joshua and Dillian White. Yeah. He's a different animal now. He's a different man. He's with Tyson Fury and his family, and you're going to see a different Joyce-Parker, and that's what's exciting, is that he's well rated in all governing bodies. He knows what it takes to win a world title. He's 30 years old, and he has a big fight ahead of him. And yeah, excited to be representing him, obviously because he's an amazing boxer, but he's a great person as well, really good person.
He has made home here in Morecambe, Greater Manchester. Are you expecting a huge turnout? Because it seems like Joyce-Parker this weekend, obviously we know Joe Joyce is British, but it seems that Joyce-Parker's the home fighter this weekend.
I think he is. It's his fourth time in Manchester, yeah. And look, we're from Manchester as well. Very comfortable here. Know the arena well, so there won't be any funny business. And he's training over in Morecambe. Went to see him last week. This is could be fourth time lucky for him again at the arena, and so we're looking forward to it. His fans are over here. He's going to be a lot of Kiwis in there on Saturday night, but also a lot of people from Manchester as well. He is. It feels like the home fighter. I just hope that the judging is fair, because it could go to points, and we need it to be. And we've seen it a lot this year. That's my only concern about this whole thing. Apart from that, I think we've got a great fight, and I think all the promoters have done what they can to make sure it happens.
there's no beef between the two. It's been very respectful. The only thing we saw in that press conference just a moment ago was Adam Morale said that the Joyce-Parker camp don't think that Joe Joyce has got any ability. What was your thoughts on that?
I don't think. Look, Joe Joyce is a massive guy. He comes forward. I've never seen a guy that just keeps walking forward every time he gets hit. It's like it's a crazy way of boxing. It's a different way of boxing. Doesn't seem to feel too much. I think the point is Joyce-Parker's an elite fighter, elite footwork, elite hands. Been in there with the best. Become a world champion, and Joe Joyce just hasn't as of yet. And he's 37 years old. So Joyce-Parker's probably sat there thinking, how have I? Look, he's been an amazing amateur, but I'm 30 and I've achieved all this. I am a different level in his eyes. Joe Joyce is hard for anyone to beat because of his physical attributes, and I think they're more saying, when it comes to a skilled fighter, mover, boxer, then Joyce-Parker probably is a different level. But Joe Joyce is that big, that strong, that's tough. That's what makes it a very, very interesting fight, and I believe it's a 50-50 fight.
There's no rematch clause if Joyce-Parker wins. Again, what's the story? What's the thing behind that one?
I think it is just Joe Joyce is in line to fight for a world title. If he's going to give up that opportunity, they'll want as much insurance as possible. That would be on Sky if it happened. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. I think, to be honest, this fight happens and then that's it. Because even if Joyce-Parker wins, will Joe Joyce want to jump straight back in there before Christmas? I don't know. And that's when it has to be before. So we'll see.
In terms of ranking, in terms of whoever wins this fight, how do you rank them in the heavyweight division from 1 to 4 maybe?
Outside the top 4, this is the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing, 100%. Outside Wilder, Fury, AJ, Usyk, this is the biggest one. Whoever wins this is right up there. They put themselves right in the top. They put themselves in the top 5. Joe Joyce will consider himself, as Adam Morley said, the best outside of Fury and AJ in the UK. Fair enough. And this is his big test. Like, to be fair for Joe Joyce, this is the biggest test he's ever had. And he's going to get it on Saturday night. And if he comes through it, then he deserves it.
There has been a few critics, the Twitterati, about this being on pay-per-view. Just get your thoughts on that one, mate.
I think, in fairness, look, it's not our pay-per-view. There's a lot of pay-per-views going on at the moment. We are trying not to add to that where we don't have to. We've done Shields Marshall not on pay-per-view. We've done Taylor Cattrall not on pay-per-view. We've done Eubank not on pay-per-view. We didn't expect the zone to be and no, everyone does it. We didn't expect them to be a pay-per-view platform, and they've got 2 or 3 now. It is crowded. I think for heavyweight boxing, when there's a lot of money involved, sometimes that's the only way to get it done. It's not our pay-per-view. It's not up to us. It's up to them. We think we're putting on a lot of shows at the moment, not on pay-per-view, and we'll continue to do that.
And finally then, Shields Marshall, the great news that has been rescheduled. Just your thoughts on getting that one back out, mate.
I wasn't looking forward to the day when that had passed because it was a unique event. Yeah. It won't happen again. There aren't those fights in women's boxing for it to happen again. And so for the team it was devastating 24 hours before. There was bigger things going on, but it was devastating. So to then the team to be able to turn something around in 3 weeks, keep all the fighters, recontract all the fighters, redo the venue, redo everything, that is a monumental challenge for anyone that knows boxing. Like, that wouldn't happen usually. So I'm just glad it's back on because it was too special to miss, and it's going to be even bigger now. And it was very disappointing at the time, but now really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, are we likely to get, obviously it is the same card, but again, is it 100% going to be exactly the same card as it was?
Exactly the same. Yeah. And that is credit to the fighters. I think they're fighting, with women's boxers, I do feel sometimes they're fighting for something more than themselves, because these opportunities, they weren't there when they turned over. It's not like they're chasing the money and chasing the this, because there weren't that opportunities at that time. When big nights like this come along, big fights that maybe you've never dreamt of. Savannah Marshall, did she ever dream of headlining the O2, broadcasting over 100 countries? Did Michaela Mayer ever believe that she'd be in such a big fight against Alicia Baumgardner? I don't think so. And so, fair play for all the fighters, because they knew what was on the line. They've all stayed with their obligations, understood the situation. Lauren Price, Caroline Dubois, Caris Hartingstall will all be on there as well. And it is a success story in boxing to keep that many promoters, that many fighters, and be able to keep it on. And so very, very happy with the team and with Sky and everyone that supported.